that Kunti Devi is saying, no one can understand your transcendental pastime. Then she is saying, Tavehamanasya nidam vidambanam, which appear to be human and are so misleading. Your pastimes are transcendental and it appears to be human being. And with this statement we understand that Kunti very much knows that Krishna is not a human being like one of us. She is clearly differentiating Krishna that he is the Supreme Lord. He is not like a human being. But yet he appears like a human being. We all have seen, in the Mahabharata story and pictures, exactly like, a fair personality, right? So, addressing that, Kunti Devi saying, Taveha manasya, people think vidambanam, people think you are manava, one of the human being. But she is referring to that. Nayascha kaschid dayatosti karhechet. You have no specific object of favor. Dayataha. You have no specific favor for somebody. Nor dveshaha. You have any dvesha or enmity towards anybody. She is praying, you are a personality who performs pastimes. You have come to this world and you're not one of us. You are a Supreme Lord, but you have just come, but yet you are not a person who favors somebody and envies somebody. You are equal to all. That's the prayers that she is offering here. Prabhupada very interestingly brings out this statement. In fact, when I read once, it was a little bewildering. Prabhupada says, his pastimes appear to exactly like human beings, but actually they are transcendental and without any tinge of material contamination. He is undoubtedly known as partial to his pure devotees, but in fact he is never partial. We have many times heard that paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha diskrutam. What does it mean? He comes to save the sadhus. Vinashaya cha diskrutam. He also comes for annihilating the demons. Does this statement not look partial? It appears partial, right? But actually it is not. Why it is not partial, we have to understand. Because the statement itself is saying, I favor only devotees, I annihilate the demons or atheists or agnostics. So it appears partial. He is very decent. The understanding that he himself says, but very nicely Prabhupada brings in here what is the context that we have to understand when Kunti Devi is saying you're not partial. This very nicely clarifies. By utilizing the sun rays, sometimes even a stone becomes valuable, whereas a blind man cannot see the sun, although there are enough sun rays before him. By utilizing the sun rays, even a stone becomes valuable, unlike a blind man cannot take any advantage. Now what do we understand from this statement? It is all to do with the recipient. The blind man, even if he has got enough sun rays, he is not utilizing it because these eyes are defective. A stone, it becomes valuable when it is under sun rays. Because of severe sun rays, sometimes they become a different quality and they get higher precious, they get the quality of preciousness. So it depends on how much you want to take the sun rays. So now we cannot say sun rays is partial to the stone but not to a blind man. It's very easy to understand. So idea is, Prabhupada is telling, Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy. Factually, pure devotees who are engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord are not mercantile community. Mercantile community is what? There is some profit. You have to trade something to get something profit. It's not like that some devotees are praising Lord to get some favor. No. Very clearly it is told, as good as sun's rays are for everybody, if somebody is accepting that, they will be benefited. Just like the stone has accepted it and it became valuable. Similarly, Krishna's mercy is for everybody, not just some devotees, or not for it is acceptable. It is taken for granted that devotees have partiality and non-devotees are not. It is just that they want to serve Lord because they are eager to serve Lord. Say for example, you like somebody, you want to take care of them, you want to help them. Why do you want to help somebody? Or because you like them. There's no other reason for it. Similarly, Lord's devotees are always Radha Govinda ki. So Lord's devotees have developed that wanting or calling for Lord. That's how they are wanting to serve. There is no other motive of serving. Just like a mercantile man, he has some motive. Unlike the devotees. So devotees have got that natural affection. In fact, in one of the community programs that I went, so I had asked this question: how many of you feel that you have a connection with Lord? So one or two or three confidently said, yes, we feel that. And some were little, And then I asked the second question: how many of you are not feeling that you are not connected to the Lord? For whatever reason, they did not raise hands. So that means what? They are not sure. So that means that's how Krishna consciousness or relation with the Lord is not something that artificially we impose on it. We do have a relation. It has just revived. That's what we have been hearing all the time. So, and we can reflect that also in our lives. If somebody is little recipient to the Krishna's instructions, they will be little more, feeling that reciprocation. All that we have to do is, absorb whatever is the mercy available. Lord has sent across many ways and means for people to take up Krishna consciousness. He himself comes, and his coming as human being or appearing like a human being is also bewildering. Why? Krishna says, why is it bewildering? Because sometimes he does some acts which a human cannot do. Just like lifting Govardhan hill or expanding himself into 16,108 forms. And sometimes he acts as if he is partial. He says, Arjuna, okay, now you kill, Karna is down. It appears, why is he acting like that? Sometimes he appears like human being, and sometimes some acts will not represent him. That's where Kunti Marin is saying, your acts are misleading. Your acts are bewildering because you are a supreme person, and it is the devotees who can understand you. It is the recipient. It is the person who is qualified, capable. They can understand you. They can appreciate you, not the others. Yeah. One more aspect that Prabhupada brings in one of the context is we would have heard Mam Chayavya Bicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate sagunan samatitayetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who is engaged in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. The meaning is, the idea is, if somebody is engaged in devotional service, they are already crossed over the material modes. For them, what is the need of liberation again, deliverance again? They are already delivered in one sense, because they are situated in the constitutional position of serving Lord, and automatically they are in the position of Brahman, or beyond the consumption of material bonds. And now here he says, sadhu is already delivered, just to satisfy the eagerness of the devotee, Lord comes. So even though it is mentioned paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam, paritranaya, actually paritranaya means to deliver. A sadhu being in this position of devotional, engaging in devotional service, is actually in the Brahman state. He is already delivered. There is no need for him to come in that sense. He comes, that's the meaning, or that's the understanding, that he only comes to show his pastimes, just on his own free will. Nobody has any obligation. He doesn't have any obligation in this world that he has to come here and do some and such things. He has many ways to get it done. Only on his own free will he comes. Say for example, sometimes somebody calls, let's go there. It's your free will, you want to go or not, right? You get that kind of situations. It's your free will, you want to go. Like that, Lord, when coming here, even though it appears that he comes, does some acts, no. It is only on his free will that he comes, and pleasing his devotees is the most important activity, because devotees are very much looking forward for serving Lord, as much as Lord also wants to serve his devotees or look forward for his devotees. So these great pastimes are understood by great devotees. From Kunti Maharani, what do we understand? That the real purpose is his free will. Let me go and see. He doesn't require to come to kill the demons. He comes only on his own free will to exhibit some pastimes with his great devotees, so that others who may cherish them, read them, understand him as a personality, what are his likes, dislikes. Even though he has all this, he has never to be considered envious. Why is he not considered, why he should not be considered envious, also we can understand from the statement here. Yeah, here. When the Lord descends on this material world, by his all-merciful energy, he plays like a human being, and therefore it appears that Lord is partial to his devotees only, but he is not. It's not a fact. Despite such apparent manifestations of partiality, his mercy is equally distributed. Here is the question. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all persons who died in the fight before the presence of the Lord got salvation without the necessary qualifications, because death before the presence of the Lord purifies the passing soul from the effects of all sins. Just because all those people who were not great devotees also, they attained salvation. But of course, there are different kinds of salvation, but nonetheless they got. So we can see some examples where he gave salvation, like Putana. She came to kill Krishna, but she attained the position of a mother. Imagine becoming Krishna's mother. She got purified just by that act of touching her. and Aghasura, Bhakasura. There were so many demons. Do we think they're all qualified? Obviously not. They were not qualified to attain salvation. But just because Lord has, they came in contact somehow or other, they got purified. So all these aspects, when he comes, does such activities, it appears for a normal person that these are all not conceivable. That's why people say they take some aspects of Krishna to be real, and some aspects to be good, and some aspects to be bad also. But it is not like that. These all acts are transcendental. They are beyond the material, any modes or any kind of influence of any sinful or activity like that. No, he is beyond that. Somehow or other, if someone puts himself upon the sun rays, he is sure to get the requisite benefit of both heat and ultraviolet rays. Sometimes we also sit on the sun rays. Why do we sit? Some things are required for the body. All that we have to do is get open yourself and receive the mercy of the Lord. So that mercy is very easy in this world by adapting the process given by great acharyas. All that we have to do is do our daily course of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, read from scriptures, listen to lectures given by great acharyas. Then automatically we are opening ourselves to the mercy of the Lord. It is not that we have to do something great. Like earlier days, they used to do some tapasya, standing on one leg, or fasting for so many days. All that is not possible. All that is necessary or required is to follow and try and do what is ordained to us. Okay, with this one last analogy I would complete. So, why we become, here it's mentioned, Lord is not partial to somebody, nor does he or does he envy somebody. How somebody becomes partial or envious in this world? How somebody becomes someone's friend or somebody's enemy in this world? You have some interactions with them, right? And some may appear pleasing, some may appear displeasing. So based on that, somebody becomes a friend and somebody becomes an enemy. Only based on the interaction, right? But he is transcendental to all this. Because it is, Kunti Maharani mentions here, he has no object of favor, nor does he envy somebody. We want something, that's why we approach somebody. What does Krishna want? He is Purna. He has everything. Why he has to approach somebody? So he is not wanting anything. He is already having everything. Or why does he has to envy somebody? If somebody is more powerful than you, then you can envy. Lord Krishna is already powerful. Why he has to be envious of somebody? So in that sense, he is beyond any of this needs or enviousness. He is already complete in himself. So that's where Kunti Maharani prays, although you have these qualities, you appear to be wanting something when Arjuna is fighting or something like that. So all these different manifestations of his activities are to be seen in the Shastric. Otherwise, many people tend to misunderstand his activities. He is complete. What is his need of taking care or taking favor from somebody? Not at all. Not all required. So this is a very important aspect. These wonderful aspects that we can learn from Kunti Maharani's prayer. So we seek their blessings and previous acharyas' blessings, so that these understandings dawn upon us and we continue in our devotional service. Thank you. We'll stop here. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి చేరుకోవడానికి, కృష్ణ భక్తిని అందరికీ అందించటానికి బృందావనం వైపు ఉరకలేస్తున్న యమునోత్రి. విష్ణుపాదమే తన పుట్టినిల్లుగా కైలాసం చేరుకోవడానికి పరుగులు తీస్తున్న గంగోత్రి. కురుక్షేత్ర ఘోరహత్యా పాపం శంకరుణ్ణి శాంతపరచడం లక్ష్యంగా పాండవులు నిర్మించిన కేదార్నాథ్. సమస్త సాధు పుంగవులకు, ఋషులకు, ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధనకు స్ఫూర్తినిచ్చే నరనారాయణులను నడయాడిన ప్రదేశం బద్రీనాథ్.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.